Daily Learning.
Hi! Welcome back again to another English practice video. So, today's story, as you can see in the thumbnail, is my experience getting lost in Japan. Ready? Let's begin! Lost in Japan. A trip to remember. Ever had one of those days where everything starts out perfectly and then suddenly flips upside down? That was me on my second day in Japan. I had always dreamed of going to Japan. The food, the culture, and even the anime, everything just fascinated me. So when I finally got the chance, I booked my flight without thinking twice. I arrived in Tokyo full of excitement and a list of places I wanted to visit. On that particular morning, I decided to go to Arashiyama Bamboo Grove in Kyoto. I'd seen so many pictures of the tall, peaceful bamboo trees. And wow! You know, it looked like something out of a fairy tale. I took the Shinkansen from Tokyo to Kyoto. It was fast, clean, and super quiet. I even bought a bento box at the station and felt like a local. When I arrived in Kyoto, I transferred to a local train heading to Arashiyama. So far, so good. When I got off at Arashiyama station, I followed the crowd, thinking they were all heading to the same place. But it was a big mistake. I walked for a bit, past a few temples, some cute cafes, and suddenly I had no idea where I was. I looked around and realized this didn't look like the pictures. I mean, no bamboo, just narrow streets, residential houses, and not many people. I pulled out my phone and checked Google Maps. And yeah, of course, my signal decided to go full on no service on me. Then I walked a bit more, hoping to stumble across a sign or something familiar. But nothing. There was just trees and silence around. At first, I wasn't too worried. But after 30 minutes of wandering around aimlessly, I started to panic a little. My water bottle was almost empty, the sun was blazing, and I had no idea how to ask for directions in Japanese. Then I saw a small convenience store. I rushed in, hoping someone could help me. In that small and cozy store, there was a young woman at the counter, probably in her 20s. I smiled awkwardly and said, "Excuse me, do you speak English?" She looked a bit surprised, but smiled back and said, "Yes, a little." After hear that answer, I feel relieved, and then I tried to explain what my intention come into her store. I'm looking for the bamboo forest. Bamboo! She nodded slowly, then pulled out her phone and searched something in Japanese. After a minute, she showed me a map and pointed to a place. After looking at that map, apparently, I had walked in the complete opposite direction. "Oh no," I said, laughing nervously. That girl giggled and said, "It's okay, many tourists get lost." Then, and this was the best part, she walked outside with me and pointed down the street. "Go this way, then left at the big tree. After walk 10 minutes, you will see the sign." After thanked her a million times, I followed her directions, and sure enough, after about 10 minutes, I started seeing more people with cameras, souvenir shops, and then, finally, the famous bamboo grove. It was even more beautiful than I imagined. The way the sunlight filtered through the tall bamboo stalks, it was magical. After walking through the grove and taking way too many pictures, I realized I had no idea how to get back to the station. There were a few exits, and I wasn't sure which way I came from. I tried to retrace my steps, but it all looked the same, bamboo everywhere. That's when I saw an elderly man wearing a bright yellow vest, probably a local guide or staff member. I approached him slowly and said, "Excuse me, where is the station?" He smiled so warmly and it melted my anxiety.
嵐山ステーション
He asked in a thick accent. "Yes," I said, nodding. He started giving me directions in Japanese, speaking slowly and using lots of hand gestures. I didn't understand every word, but I got the general idea. He pointed down one path and made a train motion with his hands. Just to be sure, he took out a small notebook and drew a little map for me. It was so kind and thoughtful, I almost wanted to hug him. With my new hand-drawn map, I made my way back to the station. I was sweaty, tired, and a little sunburned, but also incredibly grateful. Not just because I found my way, but because of the kindness I received along the way. That night, I went back to my hotel and couldn't stop smiling. I had gotten lost in a foreign country, barely spoke the language, and still managed to find my way thanks to the help of strangers. I guess that's one of the beautiful things about traveling. You step outside your comfort zone and rely on the kindness of others. Japan taught me that it's okay to get lost sometimes. Sometimes getting lost leads you to the best stories. Now, every time someone asks me about my trip to Japan, I don't just talk about sushi, temples, or cherry blossoms. I tell them about the time I got lost in Arashiyama, and how a kind store clerk and a sweet old man helped me find my way. Would I go back to Japan? Absolutely. But next time, I would be more carefully and not follow strangers people. That's all from me. See you next video.